Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into a little movie news.
What?
What?
All right. In our first bit of movie news today, there's an extremely popular video game out in the world called This I was going to say This Is Us. We're off to a great start. What if there was a video game, Carter? What if there was a video game called This Is Us? Like, what would This Is Us, the video game, be? Like,
it would just be Sims, but a lot more complicated.
Yeah, probably more emotions and going from house to house, bringing baked goods. But ladies and gentlemen, The Last of Us is a very, very, very popular video game. You may have seen it, you may have heard it, you may have played it, you may love it. Who knows? Well, it appears that HBO has set an unknown amount of episodes straight to series. They're obviously doing an adaptation of the very popular video game The Last of Us. I've never played it. I'm not a gamer, as they say. But my basic understanding of the game is that it's kind of the apocalypse. Like the zombie apocalypse has happened. Yeah, sometime far in the future, like a zombie. Is it a zombie breakout? Do you play this game at all, Carter? Do you know what's going on?
I have both.
Okay, so is it the zombie apocalypse?
I haven't. I have no idea. I haven't played either one. I don't know if it's a zombie apocalypse. I think it might be
just kind of like a
sickness.
Oh, okay, awesome.
I think it's like a virus. And I think if anything, I think somebody. I could be completely wrong, but I remember somebody telling me that it was more like I Am Legend than it is like Zombieland. That makes any sense.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not hard to imagine, or rather, let me say, like I said, this is gonna be one of those days, you guys. My brain is in a fog. I mean, video game adaptations traditionally have not worked very well. But I can see a television show adaptation of this, like knowing the very limited amount of knowledge that I know about the game. Knowing the knowledge that I know about the game, it seems like this could work in a longer storytelling format to kind of draw some of those moments out. And you know, those are the pros and cons of like film versus television. Is that in television sometimes you can take the time to tell a longer story and get into more of the detail and minutia of those situations and moments. The danger is that you don't want to do it. You don't want to drag it out too much, right? Because we've all, I mean, like, I recorded a review for The Queen's Gambit last night. It's yet to go up. I think it's going to go up next week. But one of my thoughts of that show is that it's a really great show. It's just dragged out. Easily, they could have, chopped two episodes out and condensed the story a little bit more. Carter, where do you stand on video game adaptations? Like, why do they not work? And if they do a video game adaptation as a television series, does that give it a better chance? What do you think?
I think so. I had been like silently or like social networking petitioning for Uncharted, which is another Naughty Dog property, like The Last of Us, and I was petitioning for it to be for like an HBO series as well. I don't think a movie's going to cut it, and especially if they're trying to prequel a whole entire series that we're doing.
I know.
But when it comes to The Last of Us, I've heard that the puzzles in it are whatchamacallit? The puzzles in it are a lot more of the game. So I think the story is condensed more. Yet again, I still haven't played it, so I don't know. But if it isn't as story-driven as Uncharted is, but I feel like it must be because I've heard it's much better, and people who love Uncharted think The Last of Us is like a much better version.
So here's a question. I know that one of the reasons why a lot of video game adaptations don't work in a storytelling format is because there are like these puzzles to figure out. there are like check marks to get to, right? Like if you're Sonic the Hedgehog, you have to defeat Dr. Robotnik like 12 times before you win the game. Or if you are Laura Croft, you have to like move this stone so that that door over there opens, and you have to figure out like that whole puzzle or whatever, right? Zombie Apocalypse, it's like any of the Resident Evil films or even the video games, it's about like exploring territory. It's the gameplay of it, and I think a lot of times filmmakers try to incorporate the play of the game as opposed to just telling the story. And I think that was a success of World War Z. Because the book, and I understand it's a book adaptation as opposed to a video game adaptation. However, World War Z, I think, is a very good case study to say that here is an unconventional story in, whether it's written format or whatever. But for the film, they adapted the film to figure out, like, what is this world? Like, how do we tell a story that lives and exists in this world? And it's frustrating to me that so many times video game screenwriters will try to incorporate the gameplay aspect, which does not lend itself to narrative storytelling. Do you have a different take on it?
Yeah, I don't think. I kind of agree with you on that one. I think people. I don't know why people are actually, sorry. I do know why people are taking these video games and making them into movies. It's because they already have a following and they don't need to build a fan base. And that's one of the most difficult things that you can do when it comes to movies is build a fan base, which is why we have all these reboots. But the point that I'm making is like Uncharted, I think, already took a leap when the game came out to begin with, because everyone was just calling it Indiana Jones the game, because Indiana Jones did so horrible on PS2. So then when Uncharted came out, people just thought it was a sham. And then when you went and played it, the reason that I liked it so much was because it gave you a different character to fall in love with. And that character that you fell in love with was very into being sneaky, being intricate with puzzles and things like that. If I was playing as Indiana Jones in that game, I think I might be upset that it isn't more like the movie. And I think similar to The Last of Us, like, I played the Zombieland game. That's horrible. Don't play that game. And the thing is it's nothing like the movie. You have characters that you want to see in a 2-hour, 3-hour format, and then you have characters that you want to see in the 12 to 16, like the 12-hour format of Spider-Man, or the 10-hour format of Tomb Raider or Uncharted. And I think that's just the way that it goes. And I don't know why we're trying to make these movies when we could be taking elements that we like from them, and even just asking for some of the writers from Naughty Dog to adapt a screen for film if they want to. But instead, they just get permission and license it from the writers of Naughty Dog, and then give it to actual screenwriters to be like, hey, can you do the magic that these video game writers did, but in 2 hours on screen with really famous people?
I would love to see that. I would love to see an actual film. I get it. A video script and a film script are two very different things. But, I mean, it can't be that hard to figure out how to do a film version from a video game version. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's a great idea. But the question is for you guys, what do you think of The Last of Us video game being turned into a, I guess, like not a film series, but television series on HBO Max? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. And if you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Weird Al Yankovic would want you to do. Dun, 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 dun.